Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
BBC News Business.
September 13, 11:07 America, New York. Twitter misleading the public, whistleblower says. Twitter's former head of security Peter Zatko has been giving evidence to U.S. lawmakers.
Global economy.
September 13, 11:03 America, New York. AI tries its hand at economics. The ability to simulate problems and solutions could help real-world policies.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
September 13, 10:43 America, New York. Inflation report has doves crying. The inflation report put the kibosh on the notion that, just maybe, the Fed might decide against increasing rates by another 0.75 of a percentage point next week.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
September 13, 10:42 America, New York. Twitter whistleblower testifies in Congress ahead of shareholder vote on Musk's bid. The social media platform's former head of security is set to be questioned by Democrats and Republicans over data privacy.
New York Times Business.
September 13, 10:25 America, New York. Stimulus spending drove poverty lower again in 2021, Census Bureau reports. A measure that accounts for all federal subsidies showed that fewer people experienced severe economic hardship, while health insurance coverage rose. Volunteers gave groceries to families experiencing food insecurity outside a food pantry in Houston in August.
BBC News Business.
September 13, 9:41 America, New York. Lower petrol prices help to slow U.S. inflation. Inflation slips to 8.3%, but non-fuel costs continue to climb, putting pressure on the White House.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
September 13, 9:39 America, New York. Inflation infighting. Honey, do we really need those pine nuts? Couples trying to put a lid on grocery bills point fingers over unauthorized purchases. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, chocolate bars, jalapeno potato chips. You still have to live.
New York Times Business.
September 13, 9:23 America, New York. Markets shudder on higher than expected inflation numbers. Stocks plunged and government bond yields jumped higher as investors were wrong-footed by data showing stubbornly high price increases last month.
Global economy.
September 13, 9:02 America, New York. Globalization is not dying, it's changing. Trade in goods may be slowing, but the potential for technology-enabled trade in services remains huge. New York Times Business.
September 13, 9 o'clock America, New York. The future of hospitals. Flexible space for the next pandemic. After struggling to respond to a crushing COVID caseload, many hospitals are remodeling so that when the next crisis comes, they'll be better able to meet it. A new ICU.
Daily FX Market News.
September 13, 8:40 America, New York. U.S. inflation at 8.3% in August, Fed likely to retain hawkish bias. U.S. headline CPI eased to 8.3% year-on-year in August, down from July's 8.5%, a slow but welcome directional improvement in the inflation trend.
Daily FX Market News.
September 13, 8 o'clock America, New York. Gold price forecast. ZAO, USD rises on lower inflation bets ahead of CPI. Gold trades higher amid a continued dollar sell-off and potentially lower inflation, CPI, data later today.
Daily FX Market News.
September 13, 8 o'clock America, New York. DAX 40 edges higher unfazed by poor economic sentiment. The index continued its move higher, unfazed by poor economic sentiment and increasing inflation.
Global economy.
September 13, 7:56 America, New York. UN presses Kyiv and Moscow to agree fertilizer deal in Black Sea. Top negotiator says talks are moving, in the right direction, to reopen ammonia pipeline.
BBC News Business.
September 13, 4:37 America, New York. Aldi becomes Britain's fourth largest supermarket. The discount chain overtakes Morrison's, a research firm says, as shoppers become more cost-conscious.